Welcome to week 5 of our Sew Steady gift guide, and this week is all about precision, and we're featuring one of our most versatile tools in our quilting and sewing lineup. Our universal circles and straights tool and mat makes it so easy to sew accurate circles, arcs, and seams with total confidence. With markings for circles up to 30 inches, plus our essential seam guides of 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and 5/8 inch on both sides of the needle, you're getting accuracy for every project. From holiday projects to quilts to sewing any kind of garments. This is going to be an essential tool for any new quilters or sewers alike that are needing that seam allowance support. This tool is designed to attach securely to the mat, giving you a smooth, controlled movement. And this week only, when you purchase the Circles and Straights tool, you'll also get our free scant spacing gauge, the perfect companion to ensure flawless spacing and beautiful aligned designs. This handy tool has a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/8 inch spacing, along with the scant 1/4 inch guide, giving you that ideal seam allowance for your quilting. Plus, we're giving away one full tool set to one lucky winner. To enter to win, simply like, comment, and share, and sign up. Every interaction gives you an entry, and if you shop this week's deal, then you'll also get bonus entries for more chances to win our grand prize, which is going to be our Sew Steady Wish holiday table package and one of our Elevate quilt boxes. Ready to elevate your creativity even further? Take our Sewing in Circles Straights class, which is on our Sew Steady University. It's a free class with the purchase of this tool, and you're going to be able to get even further in your creativity. So please don't miss out on this chance. Take advantage of our deal, and we've got one link left in our Sew Steady gift guide.
Good evening. Welcome, Donna from North Carolina, Susan from Clearfield, Pennsylvania, and my friend Linda from New York. Debbie, Cactus Deb, our own Cactus Deb from Glendale, Arizona. And Carla is here. She says, I have it and can't wait to see how to use it. Well, I'm glad, Carla. That's a good thing. And Lee is here from a very snowy Indiana. And Lee, I'm glad you're here tonight because we're going to talk template. Betty, welcome from Oregon, and Pam from Maine, and Charlene is in the house from Colorado. So we are going to start a 3-week adventure. I guess I'll call it an adventure because that's what it usually is. It turns out to be with the Tacoma templates. The Tacoma templates is a set of 2 templates. Now, if you like clamshells, you're going to love this. If you're not sure about how you feel about clamshells, you're going to be an expert after you get through with what we're going to talk about for the next 3 weeks. Okay? The 2 sets are made, or the 2 templates are made to work together as a set. We're going to show you exactly how that's done. Now, this is the 18-inch set of Tacoma clamshells. And we also have a 12-inch set for the smaller crowd or for your smaller blocks. I have used both. They work exactly the same. The only difference is one is larger than the other. Truthfully, I can't tell you which one I like better because I love them both so much. And they are so versatile. The instructions that come with the template sets are awesome, but always got to add that but in there, right? You also, when you order, can get the Ranges book. The Ranges is a series of quilt blocks using the Tacoma templates And it gives you 25 different blocks that you can make with this set of templates, either with the 18-inch templates or with the 12-inch, and they turn out gorgeous. Tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to work with the first. The first block here is designed to really just show you how the templates work. And these are made to use a 24 reference line. Don't forget, we have the ultimate 24 crosshair ruler. So if you're going to do a lot of Tacoma, my suggestion to you, get that ultimate 24 ruler, crosshair ruler. You won't be sorry. Now, what you're going to see is I've already put a couple in here. And let's see. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Linda, my Michigander buddy. And I love this. Linda said, I swear someday I'll finish the Ranges quilt. You know what, Linda? I've done it once and I'm seriously thinking of doing it a second time because I just had so much fun doing it. And the opportunities to template are so varied that you could take the same block, do it over and over and over again, and end up with totally different look each time. So that's kind of fun. Now, what I've got here is I do have my 24 reference lines. I have my top fabric. I have actually put some template fuse on. Over the years, I've used other fusible products. However, the Template Fuse is the one I like the best. I actually got rid of my other fusible products because to me this is such a superior product. It works great. And then I have my reveal fabric here. Okay. Then, of course, I have my batting and a backing fabric as well. Let's take a quick look at each one of these templates individually. And the reason I want to look at them individually is because even though they work the same, we're going to go in a different direction with each one. And what you're going to notice is on the edge of the template here, you have arrows. Now these arrows point to the left. And these arrows on the second one point towards the right. And that is a clue to you how you're going to stitch. So on the template, and this is template 1. On template 1, you're going to go from the center out, and then on template 2, you're going to come back from the outside back to the center. Don't worry, it's not confusing. It's very easy to do. Let's see who else has come in. Linda has Linda has 2 blocks done. Yay, Linda, that's a start. That's an awesome start. Linda is here from Utah. She says it's a chilly Utah. I definitely can sympathize with you there, Linda, because it's not real warm where I live either up here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And Marla is here from Texas. Welcome. And Maureen is here from Kansas. Also good to see you all. I love it when you come in and visit me. And like I said, for those of you who are just starting, this is going to be a 3-week um, adventure with the Tacoma templates. We're going to show you different ways of using them, different blocks that we can do, and we're just going to have fun. And Lee, just for you, we're going to do some template. Kathy, welcome from Savannah. On the way to Florida. Oh, yeah, definitely. You're in for some better weather than we're getting up here. Sandra, hello from sunny Florida. You know what? We saw the sunshine today for the first time in a while, and it was so nice. I loved every minute of it. Okay, so what we're going to do is, although I've already got this started here, I'm going to go ahead and skip a couple of lines and I'm going to start pretending that this is line number one, reference line number one. The first thing I did was I went in and I stitched this entire circle in. Now, question, do you have to do that? Answer is no, it's your block. You could do it any way you want. And if you don't want to stitch that in, you don't have to stitch it in. I like to stitch it in because for me, it makes it easier when I'm coming back and forth. I am going to line my reference line up on the lowest line of the clamshell. Okay, we have two, three, reference or three different angles that we can go. And what you'll see is that just makes the clamshells closer or further away from the next reference line. And we're going to do them so that they touch each other like this. Okay, make sure you guys can see. Oh, there's my friend Ronnie from Northeastern Arizona. Welcome, Ronnie. Lee is happy. We're going to show her some templates tonight. Okay, so template one, remember from center out. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start right on that line. I'm going to put my foot down. I think what I'll do is I'll stitch it out this way simply because it'll be easier for you to see. Okay, it's not my favorite way to stitch, but I think we'll get the idea. All right, here we go. I hope you could join us tomorrow because tomorrow we're going to start the flying bell curve. And just like what we're doing with the Tacoma, we're going to do a 3 week series on the flying bell curve as well to show you some of the different options we have available. Okay, there we go. I'm going to start off nice and slow. Now, when I come down and around, I'm not going to come all the way in to the bottom of the template necessarily. I want to stop on the line. What that's going to do is that's going to give me a nice even look because when I come up on the top of the clam, I should just kiss the next reference line. So let's line it back up, get rid of that thread there. Take that one stitch in place when we get to the bottom of the clam, and you'll see we're just touching the next reference line, nice and steady. We want to take smaller stitches because this is a curved design, and the smaller stitches will make the design appear smoother, which is always a good thing. Now remember, you don't need to push the template against the foot or the foot against the template. Make sure that you take a hesitation or stop with your needle down when you get to the reference lines. That's important. And we're going to come all the way up. If you're going to speed up your movements, you need to speed up your machine, right? Okay, so here I am. Now, what you've seen me do is come from the center out to the outside edge. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this thread here for us. Get it out of the way. And I am now going to get my template 2. I'm going to put the template 2 on. but what you're gonna notice is it's not gonna fit, and that's normal. So what we have to do is we have to stitch up to where we can meet up with that template. I'm gonna go almost to the next line, and then I'm gonna check it out. I need to go a little further. And right to the line is perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to the inside, and I'll go ahead and put my I'm putting it a little on an angle because if I put it straight on, my tack is going to be off of my table. And you always want your tack on your table so that it doesn't get caught up there and end up on the floor. Don't ask me how I know that works that way. It may have happened once or 30 times. I'm not really sure. Sometimes it takes me a little longer to figure things out. Okay, so what I've done now is I've gone ahead and I have stopped right at the top of this previous clam. And here we go. Taking that, make sure you take that one stitch in place. And when you come up, you'll see the stitching just kisses that next reference line. And that's what we wanted to do. Go ahead and make sure you stop here. I like to slow up when I'm getting close. One stitch in place. Oops. Let my foot up off of my presser foot. Do you have to stop? No, you don't have to stop. You can keep on stitching as long as you take your hesitation stitch right there. And now we're going to come up and around and stop when we hit that inner circle. So what we have done so far is we have gone out from the center with template 1 and back into the center with template 2. So let's go ahead and put template 1 back on again. And what you're going to notice is you don't have to move this. It's going to go right in where you want it to start the third row. So every odd numbered row, you're going to be exactly where you need to be. On the even numbered rows, and I'm calling this a row, you will need to travel to get to the next spot. Fortunately, it's gonna be way out here where it's not gonna matter because we're gonna trim that off later. Okay, here we go. Taking that one stitch in place. Now take your time with this. This is definitely not one that you want to rush. You need to enjoy this journey. And as you watch this design grow, I know you will enjoy it. It is so fun. It really is. And if you're not an expert at clamshells, that's okay. You don't need to be. You will definitely be very good at doing clamshells when you're finished. Definitely do the Ranges quilt if you get the chance. It is so much fun, guys. It's just a fun quilt to do. And what I like about it, I'll show you the book here in a second. What I really like about the book is it gives you options of sizes, but it doesn't tell you which templates you to stitch. You pick the templates you want to stitch, which I think is awesome. Okay, so now we've come out with template 1. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to template 2. And we want to come back in. Whoops, wrong way, Corrigan. So now I need to come all the way around here. Let's see if this will line us up perfectly. Oh, heavens no. We need to get all the way around that corner, don't we? And don't worry about this. Like I said before, this is going to all be trimmed off. So perfect. Now our line is lined up here. Remember, we have the arrows here, so they point towards the center, and we know that's the direction that we need to stitch. Nice and easy. You'll see there, I did not stop, but I made sure I took that hesitation stitch. Remember, you speed up your machine, you should speed up your hands. If you slow down your hands, slow down your machine. That is something that just eventually becomes second nature with practice. It's kind of a shame that we can't start out as experts, right? I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? You know, that'd be good if we all just, oh, I think I want to do that and be an expert at it. But then again, I think that would ruin the fun of learning and practicing. There we go, back to center, back to that center circle. And we're going to go ahead and take the template 2 off. Now remember, template 1, we don't have to make any distances to get to where we need to be. Okay, I'm just going to check here and see how we're doing. Kathy, welcome from Texas. Kathy is one of my students that's been in a couple of my classes before. And I always say, I've got the best students in the world. You guys are awesome. Love being here with you. Okay, so we're going to come back out. Just kissing that next reference line. We're going to talk a little bit more about this design as we develop it. Okay, make sure that your needle is stopped in your fabric before you move your hands. And you will need to move your hands with this. I'm going to do about half of this. And then I'm going to put that 12-inch on here just to show you the difference in size. And out to the edge. We'll take template 1 off. We're going to stitch up. Don't put your hand on the tack. We're going to go up to the next reference line. Okay. Oh, it's warm in here tonight. And I can hear Ken outside with the dogs, and I have a feeling we may have some deer running down the street. Oh, goodness. Yeah, our guys go to deer camp to hunt deer, and they all said, "Oh, we didn't see anything this year. We didn't see anything." No, of course you didn't. They're all in town. Oh, goodness. The one thing that's really nice, though, is they do stop for traffic. It is the weirdest thing. They stop and make until the cars go by, and then they cross the street. Oh, what did I do, guys? I have put the wrong template on here. I need this one. Yep. Okay, so no worries. Fortunately, I'm not far into it. I caught that quite quickly. I'm not going to tear this out right now, but I am going to put the correct template on. See what happens when I start squirreling? There we go. And you know what? It's okay. This is why we practice, right? I used to get so upset with myself if I made a mistake. I learned a long time ago you don't need to do that. The screw on my plate here is not down all the way, and it wants to get caught up here. There we go. So I'm going to come over in this direction. And around we're going to go, again, hitting that next reference line. Take that extra stitch. That is so important. And 1.5 more to go. There we go. Coming along, isn't it? You may come back and fill those in too. So again, when we're going from the center out, and that's with our template one, we don't have to make any adjustments. We're exactly where we need to be. There we go. Stop at the top of the previous clam. I'm going to adjust my hands. I want to do enough of this block to make sure that we can get a really good idea of the template options that we're going to try tonight. Okay? Because there are a few. Okay, so this is template 2. And when I lay it on the tack, my arrows are pointing from the outside towards the center, and that's what we're looking for. And we need to go ahead and stitch up a little bit more. It seems like it works out perfectly if you get to the next reference line. So here we go. Need to do that again. And around. You will find also the direction that you like to stitch in best with clamshells. Some people like to go left to right, right to left. Some people like to go vertically from the top to the bottom. Me, I kind of am all over the place. I like to keep it on an angle, but not a really, really sharp angle. And here we go. And we need to do 1/2 more. And needle down. There we go. Isn't that great? I'm really liking this. Well, good morning. Rita's here, and Patsy has joined us from Southwest Ohio. Okay, Kathy waiting for another class. Kathy, I'm kind of glad you brought that up because after the first of the year, you are going to likely see a new class from me. So, Linda Lombardo asked a question. Would you recommend the 18-inch templates over the 12-inch set? Linda, really, it's a matter of preference when you buy them. If you want to do a lot of the template and you want to do the ranges quilt, I think it's easier with the 18-inch set. If you want to use the Tacomas on blocks, smaller blocks that you have already gotten done or are doing, then you might want to go with the little smaller set. But truthfully, for the ranges quilt, I would I'd get the 18-inch. I really would. That's how I did mine. I used this exact size. This is a 15-inch square, and the 15-inch square is perfect with the 18-inch template, as you can see from what we're doing here right now. Um, it works out really well. I did teach this class. My students all loved using the 18-inch. That's the one that I recommended that they get for the first time, and they were happy with it. Everyone's turned out beautiful. I think part of what is so appealing to me with this set of templates is the fact that when we're choosing our fabrics and our reveal fabrics, everyone has a different taste and they turn out, they're just always beautiful. They really are. Okay, here we go. I hope that answered your question, Kathy. If you can get both. I didn't buy both in the beginning, and I went back and got the 12-inch because I wanted to use them on another project. And quite honestly, I'm really happy I have both sets. Slow down when you're coming to the top of the previous row. And we come out here. Now, I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna go in and fill in those a couple of rows that I don't have done here so that we have a really good representation here. And then I'm gonna show you the 12-inch size. Now, this is from the inside out. So I'm going to go ahead and start that here. There we go. I better pull that thread up a little bit. There. You see, you can let off and come back, and you're gonna know exactly where you're at. It's a design that really is quite easy to do. This is the first block in the ranges quilt, and you could do a whole quilt just out of this block if you really like it. I think it's the easiest block to do of the quilt. And what this block does, I think, okay, when I'm talking about these things, these are just my opinions. I'll be honest with you guys. Um, I'm not. Oh, Rita, thank you for reinforcing that. Rita says she has both sizes, both sets, and likes the smaller ones for smaller blocks. And that's exactly what I was trying to convey, Rita. I just agree with that so much. Okay. Yeah. Slow down. Sometimes I have to actually talk myself, slowing down now. I have to remind myself I want to slow down. And around we're gonna go and get that last one in. I got things slipped all over the place here. Okay. So now, if you wanted to, you could do every other row just like this. You wouldn't even have to go back in. Or you could come over and you can and these are some of the things that we are going to explore. You could come in like this and actually make circles. There's just so many different things we can do with these templates. This set is, and I know I say sets are versatile. This is one very versatile set. And we're going to just kind of take a quick look at the ranges book so you get an idea of just how versatile they are. And I think I did it again, guys. Uh-huh. I had the right one in my hand and then I picked up the wrong one. You see how easy it is to tell when you're paying attention? I wasn't paying attention before, I'll be honest with you. Okay, here we go. Oh, there we go. And we're gonna stop right there. There we go. Isn't that cool? Now, before we move on to using the 12-inch for a little bit here, I just kind of want to go over a couple things. One of the things I really, really like about this is if you start here and you come up like this, it is like a row of clams on an arc, right? So you can template like this all the way around, skip one, template the next one all the way around, skip one, template the next one. That's one way of doing it. There's several different ways of doing it. You don't have to do it that way. You can also come straight out with your template every other row straight out. And that is in and of itself a very beautiful template also. Um, you can choose the biggest one, then go to the next one. So there's a lot of different things you can do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the arced template tonight. Okay? That is the one that's in the book, and boy, I'll tell you, this looks so cool when it is templating. But first, let me show you those 12-inch templates here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and get these so I don't lose them on my desk because Lord knows I got more stuff here. I just got things everywhere. I try and keep somewhat organized. You hear the word somewhat. I will never be totally organized, but that's okay. So I'm going to start right here, like this is line number 1. Okay. Again, taking template 1, and it has the arrows pointing out. Put this little guy over there so I don't drop him on the floor. If I were to break this, I would be so upset because this set is one of my favorites. Line everything up. Start on the line. Take that one stitch in place. Now, what you're going to notice is really the clamshells are not all that different in size, okay? They really are not. What the difference is that the template does not go out as far. And sometimes you just don't need to go out as far, right? And back out, just kissing that next reference line, and we're going to stop. I'm going to trade that one for the template 2, and the template 2 has arrows pointing towards the center, so we know we've got the right one. And of course, we do need to stitch up. Oh, now, here is where the difference lies. Okay, with the 18-inch, we were able to come all the way out to the edge. But what you're going to notice with the 12-inch going all the way out to the edge, I'm missing the ruler. I'm actually missing it. So what I need to do is come in a little bit. Make sure that I'm lined up. There we go. And off we're going to stitch. Now, with the 12-inch, you don't need to worry about this part out here because it will be cut off. We will have trimmed that block down. The disadvantage to keeping your stitches a little smaller is that if you, for some reason, do have to pull out those stitches, it's going to take longer. That's all there is to it. It will definitely take longer, but you can see just how nice that looks. And again, from the inside, we don't have to do any traveling. We're right where we need to be. So let's go ahead and do another row. And then we're going to do what Lee likes best. We're going to do some marking and some trimming. Out we go. And again, remember, it's not necessarily the size of the clams, it's the length of the ruler that is different. And there we go. Okay. What do you guys think? Isn't this fun? Oh, I just lost my tack. Perfect timing because I don't need it anymore. Oh, awesome. So what you'll see here is this is the 12-inch. Again, like I said, not different in the size, just the length. Okay. Let's see if we've got, oh, good evening, Armetta. Good evening. So nice to see you. Oh, you guys are being quiet tonight, aren't you? Oh my goodness. All right, let's get our template tools out here. And you know me. I've got tools that I like to use strictly for templating. And we're going to just review them quickly. Linda likes it. She says it looks good. I do too. Okay, so the first thing we have to decide, guys, do we want to come up on the arc or do we want to come straight out? And either way we choose, what we want to do before, and I know I'm using a permanent Sharpie. I'm doing this so you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? Because most of these marking devices that I have don't work really good on camera. What can I say? Kathy says on the arc. Good, good. Who else would like to see on the arc? Oh, you know what I need to do too? Here is the link. There we go. Monica says on the arc. Linda says on the arc. Okay. Okay. It looks like on the arc is going to be a big winner here. So we're going to go on the arc. I'm going to start here. I am going to mark. Why is this important? This is important because once you start cutting, you can get very confused. Well, I can get very confused. Rita says either they both look good. And they do, don't they, Rita? That's so nice about this. Okay, got to take a little drink there. Charlene says arc. It's definitely, we're doing arc, guys, definitely. Okay, so here is one. This is the second row on the arc. So I am going to come to this row on the arc. Okay. And I'm going to mark it. Really important to do this step. I would strongly suggest not skipping it. Have I made the mistake of doing, like coming here and then coming over here? Yeah, I have. And I've had to do the whole block over again. Don't be like me. If you mark it, you can, I mean, you're going to be using something that's not permanent. Like I'm using something permanent, but you're going to be something that's not permanent. So you can always fix it before you cut it. And that's the nice thing about the template. Okay, so now we're gonna come, oh yeah, because this one would be cut too. So then we're gonna come here and of course here. All right. Armetta said on the art. Lee, I love it. Especially important for those of us that tend to get confused easily. I resemble that remark, Lee. Most definitely. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna come in with my sweet husband had this made for me, and I'm going to cut my top fabric only. At least that's the plan, right? Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna go in and slit that top fabric of well, I think I am, of each of the clams that I have marked. There we go. And do a couple more here. Now, what else we're gonna talk about is leaving a certain amount of space with our fabric where we are cutting on adjoining clams, because I think that's an important thing to talk about for 2 reasons. One, for the aesthetics. That's good. I almost thought I cut the reveal fabric on that one. But also for the, integrity of the block once it is cut. That's important. Okay, there we go. We're gonna start from the inside and work out. Now, when I do, y'all know that I love these little tiny curved scissors here. They're sharp, they get right into the point. They're so pointy, so they work quite well, and they come with a guard, keep the guard. You're not gonna wanna put these in a drawer unguarded. That could be potential disaster. All right, so when I go ahead and start making my cuts, I like to leave some, border, I guess is the best word for it, of fabric around the stitching. Why do I like to do that? Well, I'll tell you, in the beginning, when I first started doing some of the template stuff, I used to actually snip it pretty close to the stitching line. And I had a student who didn't. She left a nice border around her stitching. And when I saw it, I fell in love with the look. But more importantly, I think it helps the integrity of the block in that it gives you a nice buffer of temp fused between the cut and the stitching so that it's going to stay really nice and secure on there. Okay? No, I didn't do the greatest job on that one, but that's okay. Now, the other reason I like it is because I like how it gives a nice outline between the cut clamps. Take your time with this. Don't rush this. And some people say, "Well, this is a good watching TV project." Actually, I prefer not to have the TV on when I'm doing this. I get distracted way too easily, guys. And I can see me cutting something I didn't mean to cut simply because there was something exciting to watch on television, if there is anything exciting to watch on TV, right? All right, so here we go. We're gonna just take our time. Small snips, small snips. You can always come back and snip it a little deeper if you need to. Once that fabric is out, you cannot put it back on, guys. You can always take more out, but here you'll see how nice that border looks on there. And we'll go to the next one. Nice and even. And try to keep each one the same. In other words, don't put a big old fat um, buffer on one clam and then a skinny buffer on the next. And it's always better to start with a bigger buffer because you can trim that down just like that. But it's real hard to add fabric back. The more time you take with these processes, the nicer your project is going to look. And the stronger I believe it's going to be. Our template fuse, when we are done, we're going to press this all down. And that template fuse is going to adhere those two layers of fabric together. And they are going to be very secure. I have put template fuse projects through the laundry. I will be honest with you, I use a gentle cycle on them. I have put them in the dryer, and I have not to date had any problems with them. Okay, you see how I just like that look. And if you don't, that's okay. You don't have to like it just because I like it. You should make it the way you like it. I'm just telling you why I prefer to do it the way that I do. Um, I know you've heard me say this before. It's not my way or the highway, guys. We all have our own likes, and by all means, do things the way that you like them to look. Okay. Out we're gonna go. I will be honest with you. I think sometimes the curved lines when you're templing tend to be a little easier than straight lines. There we go. Okay. Kathy says, how much of a buffer do you think you're using? Kathy, I think, I'll tell you what, I think it's about an eighth of an inch from one side to the other. Ha, Kathy, that's exactly what it is. It's an eighth of an inch. So I'm going to about a 16th of an inch on either side of that stitching. Um, you get used to it. Once you start working with it, you kind of can gauge where you like it. Like I said, my student who was doing it this way, once I saw hers, it was like, oh my gosh, that looks so nice. And you can go bigger if you want to. You can, make it the way you like it. But yeah, mine is about an eighth of an inch total from here to here. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. I love doing the template. It's fun. You can change the look of your quilt so much with different reveal fabrics. I have some tulip pink that I'm anxious to use as reveal fabric. I think it's going to be awesome because it's so out there. The colors are so vivid, and I'm a very natural nature type girl. Most everything I do are natural colors, the browns, the greens, the burgundies, you know, the the golds, things like that. So for me to take those wild prints is out of my comfort zone. I guess that's the only way to describe it. It is just out of my comfort zone. But when you use it for a reveal fabric, it is totally, totally different. It opens up possibilities. Okay, Stephanie, I knew somebody was going to ask, what brand are the snips and where did I get them? Okay, they have no brand name on them. And I believe I got them off of Amazon because I live at the end of the highway. Almost literally. I live there's nowhere. Okay. We have no place up here to buy things. And most everything we get comes off Amazon. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that's where they came from is Amazon. I wish it had a name brand on because I've had so many people ask me, and I wish I could tell you a brand name, but alas, there's nothing on there. Now, I do know Famore makes scissors similar to this. The difference is there that this part is a little longer than this particular one. Look at there. I need to square off that corner. There we go. Round we gonna go. Small snips, and that's just the way I do it. Small snips all the way around. Now, if you like a glass of wine in the evening, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I don't, but that's my preference. Um, I probably well, for me personally, if I drink a glass of wine, my cutting would just not be good. Okay. But if you are a person that just a glass just kind of relaxes you a little bit, well, you know what? That could help your cutting skills. I guess it really could. I see nothing wrong with that. Okay. And we've got one more to do on the arc. There we go. Isn't that cool? I just love this. And here's our last one. And this is the big kahuna here. Now, one other thing that you can do as you're going around here is as your clams get bigger, you can also have your border get bigger. It would be just I've never done it that way, but I'm thinking it would be really a great representation of the sizes of the clams. And when we get out here, we don't have to worry too much about what we're doing simply because this is going to be trimmed off, guys. There we go. And we'll get the rest of this one. Oh my goodness, I got fabric everywhere here. Almost. There we go. Oops. There we go. And that is what it looks like when it's done on the arc. Isn't that cool? And you just keep coming and keep coming and keep coming around there, and it turns out gorgeous. It just turns out gorgeous. This is a picture in the book of how it's going to look when it's totally trimmed out. And look at here, if you put all of these blocks together, it swirls. It reminds me of a tide pool. Don't know why, it just does. And here you can see where it's been done with some of the swirls and some without. These are clamshells also. This is the same stitch out. It's just that they have not been template on every other block, which kind of makes it look like peppermint candies if you were to do red and white for Christmas time, right? Oh, are you using the fabric behind the batting? Sandra asked. Okay. No, I'm not. And the reason, Sandra, that I'm not is because this is a practice piece. This is not, if this was a quilt block that I was going to be using in a quilt, I would definitely have a fabric back here. Okay. But because this is just a sample block that I'm doing, I don't. And one of the reasons that I don't is because a lot of times I keep the sample blocks in my file folder with the templates, and I want as little extra fabric as I can get in there so as not to take up too much space. But if this were a true quilt block, I would have a backing fabric, I would have the batting, I would have the reveal fabric, and I would have the backing fabric and the reveal fabric glue basted to the batting. Okay. And then, of course, I would have my top fabric with my template fuse on. And remember, you can't press that down or do anything to it until all of this is completed. Then you take it to the ironing board, you press it like this, you don't iron it, you press it down like that, and everything will adhere beautifully. Just beautiful. Okay, Lee says, I found there are two different types of those snips. One, the lesser expensive, is just a nice sharp curve. And then the second is the sharp curve has serrated edges so they grip a lot better. And Lee gets hers at the quilt shop. And I always, always, always think that the best thing to do is go to your local quilt shop and see if they've got them. If they don't have them, ask them to order them for you. And Lee, I agree with you. The serrated edges do grip nicely and they cut very well as also definitely. So yeah, talk to your quilt shop. um, Small businesses, they're so important to us. They really are. And they're so important to our communities. So definitely see if you can get them through your quilt shop first. Okay, and Kathy says, I like the snips that are straight on the edge and not curved. And then those are nice ones too, Kathy. Those really are. I don't know what it is about me. It's a matter of preference. It really is. The straight ones work for you. and I find that the curved ones work for me. I've had straight ones in the past, and there's nothing wrong with them. They work as well too. They really do. Linda, thank you so much. I'm glad to demonstrate the temperatures. Templates, of course. So that's our first installment of Tacoma templates. And we are going to be back next week with the Tacomas and with a different quilt block. And I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to show you how to make circles on it. So it's always an adventure when we get templates and we just start doing fun things with them. In the meantime, okay, Kathy says Karen K. Buckley has the best scissors in all sizes. Cool. That is good to know. That is good to know. Thank you for sharing that, Kathy. Oh, you guys are so welcome. I really appreciate you being here. Don't forget now, like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to get a hold of me, all you have to do is go to sewsteady.com and you will be able to go under the Elevate tab and instructors, and all of my contact information is there. I welcome questions, comments. If you just need a listening ear, whatever, I am here for you. So until we meet again, hopefully it'll be tomorrow morning when we look at the fly bell curve. Let's quilt.